Hello friends, this is Dr. Nikita here, your mentor, educator and friend, and welcome to your very own YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to talk about why interns or someone who gives the exam for the first time cracks it in the first time, but others who are attempting even for like second, third attempt are not able to do it. Or if you are worried about that I'm an intern or I'm working or I have a lot of things to do, how can I manage my studies along with my work or internship? That is what I'm going to talk about in this video. So basically remember that I'm going to talk about this very important productivity hack which is called as Parkinson's Law, which says that work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. So let's say, for example, a post-intern who's not working and who has all the 24 hours at his disposition, he gives 7 days to complete the subject of anatomy. On the other hand, intern or a working doctor who has less time, they give 3 days, 4 days for completing anatomy. Don't you think that both of them would be able to complete their subject? Why? Because an intern who gives 3 to 4 days to complete the subject has that in mind that I have only 3 days, that is the only time that I have and I want to finish that subject. On the other hand, someone who has more time, all the 24 hours at disposition, they would go out with friends, go out for movie, do a lot of distracting things, and finally they'll be completing in 7 days. So basically remember that whether you give 7 days or 3 days for a subject, you would be able to finish it, because as we said, that subject expands in the number of days that you have given for its completion. So this does not mean that you give unrealistic targets to yourself. Now you cannot say yourself that I should be finishing anatomy in 1 day if you are reading for the first time. So what are the practical applications of Parkinson's Law? Number one, give an approximate and a correct estimate of how much time would be required for completing a subject. Like longer subjects would be more days, shorter subjects like dermat, psychiatry would be 2 days, 3 days. Right, so first is getting a correct estimate. Second is having time blocks in the entire day. Based on your work schedule, it would be different. Like some days you are having night shifts, some days you are having morning shifts. So based on your daily schedule, pre-plan your day the night before and give yourself those time blocks. So let's say in the morning 7 to 9 a.m. I would be completing the head and neck unit of anatomy. Then I have to go for work. When I come back in the evening, I freshen up. Maybe then evening 6 to 8, I'll be doing the other block. So make sure that in those time blocks, basically you are giving those deadline within a deadline, and you make sure that you finish those units in that particular time block. And when that time block is over, you would not be reading that unit for any longer time. And the third important thing is prioritize. Now you might ask that how can I finish head and neck anatomy in 2 hours of time block? So the answer there is prioritize. How do you prioritize when you're preparing for an exam? Is by looking into what questions from that particular unit has been asked in the recent years. That gives you an idea that these are the most important topics that I cannot leave, so that at the end of that 2-hour block, I do not feel that I missed out on the important topics. Now remember that you cannot read all your books like page to page and line to line. You need to do that smart work, which you can definitely do by looking into the previous year topics and prioritizing. So correct estimate, realistic targets, time blocks and prioritize, and make the best use of the Parkinson's Law. Do not give too long targets to complete a subject. I hope this gives you a sigh of relief that if you are an intern or you are working, you can still crack the exam. Rather, you can do it much better, because whatever time you would be having for studies, you would be studying with concentration, because you already know that you have comparatively lesser time, so your concentration would definitely increase. So use this productivity hack and set yourself the daily targets and the time blocks and make the best use of whatever time you get. So that was for today. Thank you so much for watching this one. I hope this helps you in increasing your productivity, and goodbye, take care, keep studying, keep revising and keep winning. Thank you. Also, one very important thing that I forgot to mention is I'll be coming up with the timetable and the daily targets for AIIMS November 22 and the NEET PG 2023 very soon in the next 2 to 3 days. So if you have any suggestions for the same, like you want me to include any particular type in the timetable, or you have any suggestions to give, please do let me know in the comments so that I can work on it and I can inculcate in the timetable and I can come up with a final plan and help you in the best possible way to crack your exams. Thank you so much.